and go.
Hi traders, Dale Pinkert and Mike Venezia here with you at TradeGATEHub. Hi Mike. We're powered by TradeView, and TradeView is powerful. So it's good to be
and you're going to need TradeView because the market's making powerful moves.
Yeah, and I want to cover this, Mike, and I think it's very important for our viewers to understand how to look at technical development. So I want to start with this event was the CPI, this big candle we had here. So after this candle, you really didn't have a chance to buy it much cheaper than how it closed. You had this little tail here, but for the most part, it kept holding,
right,
and then surged on the Brookings speech by Powell last week. Now look at the difference and this was a pretty big candle, not as big as this Sigma event, but if you noticed, the day after the candle, there was no follow through, and we started eating into the gains of this day in Brookings. And you know what? This is technically a problem. And we've tried to hold this 39.5 level, I don't know, at least 10 times, and we've had bounces off of it. And if they don't turn it just arithmetically, call it 9.5 to 41 is going to take you to, if we close under here, to about 3,800, which is a little bit, right around the 50-day. So I think part of this is markets getting in front of the Fed that they may have had it wrong.
Which is the 13th, correct?
Yeah, next week from today or tomorrow, I believe. So
right.
I think we have the makings of a little mini panic. If you watched the video I did yesterday, I talked about the possibility of that. So the question is, can Santa save December? And what will it be? And, maybe people are looking for the Santa Claus rally too early. I mean, if I was Santa, I wouldn't be getting on my sleigh on the 6th of December to make deliveries on the 24th. I think I could wait until after the Fed to charge up Rudolph's nose so I could see through the snowstorm when I'm delivering your gift, Mike. Don't you think I could wait?
Was that ad-libbed?
Yeah.
That was pretty impressive.
So anyway, I think Santa could appear, but there could be a lot of fear before that happens. And I know the VIX is, really not reflecting anything great, but
what's it going to take, Coach? Come on.
I mean, look at where we are on the 4-hour. So, if we get to some of these targets, and I think we're going to a 3,700 handle or underneath. Okay, well, so yeah, that's that's still what, another 5% from here.
Do you know what the opposite could happen the last time, as we were talking about the VIX floating between that 28 and 32 level, and then waiting for that event to push it to 40 and put the fear and everybody's complacency out, even though it was 30 at the time.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a similar situation where it's been sitting so long and there's so much complacency where it really might not have to be a binary move for it to keep just drifting up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think 26 at least is viable from here,
no,
and
absolutely.
that's going to put you in profits on your VIX position.
See, but Coach, I have a couple of things to say. That the Santa rally first year, this time it's different. It's been a different Santa. It's been a different season, or Christmas, as you will, as it is for some time now. It's more hectic, and I'm not minimizing the situation, than COVID. COVID was even, we took a precipitous, even way steeper decline, if you will, if you want to call this a decline. But it seemed like it's a different season this year. And also, if you're waiting for Santa, a few catalysts outside the Fed earnings season is starting to abate. And a lot of these stocks that are having nice earnings, having one-day wonders, I could point to a bunch of them in a second, are, breaking low. We're up 10, 12%. Outside of Signet, by the way, which is like a Path gave it back. Stocks like Asana still going lower. Stocks that not only they're not really the ones that everybody has their eye on, but they're emblematic of just these SAS stocks and everything just melting down, and there are no buyers. when there even should be speculation of buyers, just speculation alone. All the low floaters I thought is pop. But let me get to your point here. This I want to answer your question. Get to it. The Santa Claus rally this time, I do think it's different, but I don't see any major catalyst besides it being seasonal outside of the Fed, the 13th, which we know has been somewhat of I know it's a redundant word, but a binary move. So why not? There's few data. There's less data, or barely any economic data today, much less really this week. And just trade stock.
And you know what? Also, Mike, the
that's what I'm here for. You give a great. Sorry, I apologize, but you give a great reason for the macro view, no question, and that's why I did watch the video, and I do. It's why you're on here. Beyond, I don't know how else to put it, but I'm trying to condense it a little bit, and just like we answered for our special video that the team has coming up, and I answered some questions. It's really about stock picking, putting some things to cash. If you haven't made your year now and you're waiting to the binary move on the 13th, you're in trouble because it's probably not going to go your way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm not to be negative, just how it goes. When you need it, it never when something can go wrong this time of the year, especially now, it will. I very rarely see very few people close at the highs Christmas Eve.
And thinner markets are more susceptible to bear raids.
Oh, not only that. Yeah.
Yeah, and also, the dollar has weakened, and it's hardly supporting the S&P. So even what normally would lift them is a weaker dollar. Dollar did strengthen earlier in the day, but it's given it back.
Correct,
Cable's given it back. Gold was sharply higher, but it's still higher on the day.
I wanted to bring up gold, Coach. Can you punch up the long term on gold if you can?
Yeah, and so the point is, normally things that would support the market aren't. So here's that shorter term look. I'm bearish. Okay, so let's go to gold.
Should be.
And let's look at a weekly chart. We are having it failed. Look at the tag on the 50-week, just above 1800, Mike, which I saw Helene's chart.
Yeah.
Where this could be a neckline of a head and shoulders, where it could pull back. The neckline would, if it has symmetry, we could pull back to here. And then the next time we're above it, 1800, you have 2000 for a target. So
I personally do on a small level. If you want to catch what Helene's charts, and Helene is, one of the few, go to a TradeGATEHub, and the charts that I posted Monday, or our routine is consisting. It's a Monday tradition, if you will, or Sunday evening, to post Helene's charts, and the GLD was a great great.
So here's your monthly. Here's your monthly on the gold, Mike. What do you want to say about this?
I want a gold. Okay. If we had to talk about this, or at least I brought it up on my video, how I'm trying to, the short term, I'm not trying, I am putting out some noise outside of the 13th, which is the Fed meeting.
Yes.
I personally, let me digress and say Bitcoin, I don't think is is never was a safe. I played it a little bit, no kidding wrong. I played it well, I'm not going to lie. And it's no longer the safe haven. If what we think, or if consensus, how about that? I'm not that smart, goes into the first quarter, if not half of 2023. I think gold is the place to go, and I'm still in it, and I'm in it. I do. I really do.
Okay.
And I know listen, my confidence is being backed up by that. I know a lot of smart money going in. That's all. And
I've seen you've seen long-term call buyers come in. I follow your stuff during the day, and you're talking about sweepers coming in,
going out from April anywhere to June.
Yeah.
Good size, but listen, $250,000 bet in a sweeper in Newmont or anything going out that long is a hell of a commitment. It's not like you're playing one of these weeklies and pumping in $500,000 and flipping it. You know what I mean? There's a lot that can be done there. And by the way, that's only one. I mean, there have been a ton of them. AEM was the first one to go. Then GDXJ, then GOLD, and now I'm buying some of the junior miners. I've been trading more actively those ETFs, JUNG and NUGET and UGT, but I don't want, unless something really goes parabolic, how those ETFs will exacerbate the move. I don't want the time decay on those triple ETFs to eat out the position where I want to build it. You know what I mean?
Okay. I still think there'll be better entries. Just
No, I
my
did.
view,
No,
but
I did.
I
Listen,
was wrong about that last week. I missed the last wave up in gold and silver, and the reason I missed it was I was looking for the gold silver ratio to turn and break out of this wedge that I have here. Let's look at the daily. And instead, we made another trip down, but it's still a wedge. And I still think that we're going to break out to the upside, which tells me that silver will outperform. And the metals do better when it's going down, this ratio. This also
noted. All
correlates
right,
pretty
that's
well with
interesting.
the dollar.
All right.
So anyway, I was wrong here. We didn't break out, but it didn't negate that we still have a wedge. In fact, now I see 1, 2, 3. So if you're a precious metal trader, keep an eye on the gold silver ratio.
I am, and also the sweepers for the sweep. Listen, what you want to see is stocks base, or start building a base, or even a slight uptrend, whether it be long term or short term. And then when the weakness comes on a day like today, this is where you want to see the people back up their bets. You know what I mean? Not buy into
Right.
strength. You want to see them say, this thing's on sale, and I'm, for lack of a better term, and I'm gonna keep adding to my position. That's what I post probably even later after lunch. But Coach, I wouldn't argue with you. I'm not buying them today. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong. So I'm not buying. I would think I will get better entries, but this is one. This is one of these longer. This is one of these rare longer position trades that I'm building into. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
have a
I
lot of
think it's
I
a
just have a lot
great
of confidence.
setup.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think
Pardon me.
Newmont, remember I've been featuring it as the candle of the month. And it had a huge reversal month. Let's just look at it one more time. So it's going to take a lot to negate this candle, but we could pull back maybe to 43. I don't think we'll see 30, what are the lows here? 36.
I wouldn't be
But
buying it there, but I could
yeah,
see it. Yeah, and I
I'd
got
be
you
backing up the truck here
at 36.
at 43.
Oh no, I think 45, the whole number, the option
Okay.
expiration number.
All
That's
right.
why maybe below 40. That Newmont's a heavy a heavy option traded stock. And I'm still a
Yeah.
believer, because there are a lot of algos that I believe in the whole numbers, especially with options. So the closer Friday gets, or Thursday, I might be, if it's down there, I'll be adding to that. If it gets
Okay.
to 45 level, yeah.
Okay. I think you'll see that. I wanted to touch on Apple because I don't think we have a clean bottom in the indexes until we resolve this and make new lows in Apple.
I haven't touched it. As a matter of fact, the rest of our viewers, if you should go to our YouTube button and hear your call on Apple. It's one of your bullish calls. And you haven't had to flinch. Hasn't gone against you.
What?
Your Apple
The
short.
bearish call, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And bonds are up today.
So the dollar UUP.
Yeah. UUP is probably lower now. It's
I didn't see. I've been
fading.
watching.
Okay. And S&Ps keep pressing the lows. They really act heavy, Mike. Also, I wanted to show WTI for a reason. You see this? Here's 1. Here's 2. We're going to get a 3. So along with, I want to congratulate you on the XLE
I'm in it.
short that you
Should
put
be.
on.
Yeah.
I'm just XLF. Where's the stupid XLE anyway? Here we are. Okay, we're down 1%.
They
But
did the rip and dip this morning. They tried to get
yeah,
you out if you saw.
here you go, buddy. What did we talk about yesterday for a target on your trade
You
as a
said 80.
possibility? Yeah. Okay, so but you were shorting it up near the highs. Real nice feel when people were pretty bullish the oil, Mike. So
You
we'll
have to
probably
be
get
sorry. You have to
go
be in
ahead.
that trade a couple of times in order to see it.
Yeah, all right. Anyway, great trade
Even
on
get
the
Yeah, thank you.
short side there. You know, this looks like it could have problems for just a correction. I mean, the trend looks great, but I was early. I thought we were topping here, and just like the S&Ps, they had another low. We get through 36, I think we could have a nice shakeout. December, I think, is going to be a liquidation month, Mike. And setting up a January, a great January is kind of the narrative that I'm working with. So what I want to do now, Mike, is I want to turn the chart over to one of the best stock pickers I know.
Thank you, Coach. Let
Because
me ask your, can I ask your opinion on a chart first?
sure,
I have a position in right now. I don't know what to do with it. Cliff,
okay.
CLF. I mean, I know what to do with it. The price action is telling me, but I want,
Well, I mean that, you know, that's why it's great to work with people to get different looks. Let me take a look at it now. It's up 10 cents. You know, I would like to see it pull back. This looks kind of like a head and shoulders. Looks like it was trying to break out. I would think that this could sell off with the market. You know, maybe towards let's look at a weekly.
don't worry about it. I won't be in it that long.
Oh, okay. So then let's get short term.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
so here's a 2-hour chart. It's diverging.
Enough said. I see it.
Okay, you know, we could pull back to 14 and a half this week.
No way I'll be in it that long.
Okay.
Yeah. Noted by
anyway.
by the way, noted. That's what I had, but you know, it's iffy now.
I can't find much I want to be long right now, Mike. You know, there isn't much I want to be long. So also, you know, we talked about semis last week. I think they could make a move towards 200. So here's the daily. They look pretty heavy. Remember we were talking about
they are heavy. Yeah.
Yes. So why not 200 into this gap during the sell-off in the market?
Another thing is I started re-speaking to one of my mentor, a trader friend of mine, older gentleman. He's on the ship like Sir Larry, you know what I mean? And he told me to short AMD last night, and I didn't do it. I didn't see it. What'd you think, AMD? Told me short AMD last night.
I'll have to pull it up. Wow. Keep in touch with the guy.
No, I
That's
don't.
what
But I didn't.
Yeah, 64. You know, 64 is doable. I mean, you have a range here, 72 to what call it 80. Take out 8. You know, 64. Kind of similar to the SMH. It's probably a break to buy down here.
Or short until 64, 65.
Yeah, but if you're a position trader, you wait for 64. If you know, looking for another wave to the upside. So I wouldn't be long here. That's my view. But what a great call for a short last night. Was it earnings?
No, it's just poor price action. I saw it. It's a semi, if you will.
Yeah.
Just well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It could go with the other one that goes with this is of course is NVDA. That's acting very poorly, also technically broken. It really listen, he didn't split the atom. I just didn't see the 4 or 5 star play of it. That's all.
Yeah. So, you know, if this is a bottom, what traders can do, let's coach them a little bit, is use your fibs. Use your fibs and measure from this high, this low to this high, and wait for 61.8 to enter, and you're wrong under the low. That's a trade.
That's clean. Now, you know what? That's also clean. Nice, clean plan.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I want to turn the charts over to you we have about 10 minutes, Mike, and tell me what you're seeing in individual issues that, you know, what you're doing as far as anything happening for you in, you know, some of these other outside markets. We had a pretty good move in cannabis stocks yesterday, Mike, because they're thinking they're going to get that law passed in the lame duck, the SAFE Act. Has anything changed? It's hard to be long anything in this market, but they did get a pretty good pop.
No, okay. There's a couple of things I have to say about that, and it's a good point because it really doesn't matter what the group is. It matters about the trade. Okay, first of all, the cannabis stocks are known to move together. They trade as a group, as we're at the TradeView markets. I'll even go into TradeGATEHub. And I log in just the same as everybody else. It's that easy. Seriously, boom, in. All you need to do is hear is high level opinions. Okay. They moved up, and what I did not like of them moving up is what? They had news. I
Yeah,
wanted them to move up without the news.
I
You know what I mean?
understand.
Now they're a crowded show. Now they're going to be talking about it at Christmas Eve about the act, and my uncle's going to ask me if they should buy some of the cannabis. That's what I don't want. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
want
you
them
don't
to
want
go.
your uncle asking. You, when your uncle gets interested, that's usually not a good time to
My uncle, yeah.
look
Well,
at.
my uncle still believe me, he's a hell of a trader, very
All
wealthy
right.
too. He's in his
Okay.
70s.
All right. Well,
Uh,
my uncles don't know, from a hole in the ground. Anyway,
no,
so
no, this guy's a
what
sharp
else
guy.
is anything capturing your attention here with the market, the tape being bad the last couple of days? What's holding up the best in a
Look at this.
bad tape?
What's holding up the best? What do I have my interest in? The Chinese, something's going up nicely. Chinese
There's
stocks
they're still holding.
still hold. Well, let's go to the chart. I mean, Chinese
All right.
stocks. And you know what? Listen, this is the thing I wanted to
You've been
point out
pounding
to.
the table on these
Well, I should be, because
for
you know what?
weeks.
Just like the XLE trade, you have to be in it a bunch of times and obviously get roasted to expand your parameters to know it's possible for them to make this move. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
So
Baba.
I just want, no, that's Baba. And I just want people to know that you can't, if I had $1 for every time that everybody was asking about Baba down here, averaging down, I could both retire, me included. But now no one's, at 68. But now the three major short-term moving averages are curling up.
Yeah.
It's got huge momentum and volume, and everybody's afraid to buy it. But nobody was afraid. No, everybody had no problem buying it down there when the RSI was here, asking me every
Yeah.
day. But they don't have a problem buying it here, and that gives you from 86 to 91. So that's Baba, the one that's been leading it. Always been the
Okay.
best of breed has been
Look at that.
PDD.
Yeah. Nice
Then you
looking
have
chart.
FUTU, which was the financial. That's it right there. I can't. Oh, by the way,
So I'd rather buy these on a break than U.S. stocks. They have much better patterns.
well, listen. I came in short the stock FUTU, and first of all, hold on, trade only. Let's talk in a week. Was November 28th. All right, the stock went from 51 to 70. Okay, it's a
Wow,
$19
2 days.
move. All
Yeah.
right, so okay. So I think I came in short. I was just playing it. I'll put it here. And by the way, they did yesterday was the trade because they opened up $3-4
Right.
when all the Chinese markets were up 3-4%.
Yeah.
So it was almost a perfect trade where they opened up huge and the Hang Seng opened up huge. FUTU was a stock that went from 70 to 63, a $7 move in a half an hour. Baba, same thing. Well, actually, if you see yesterday, Baba, that
Yeah.
was our opening trade yesterday, Baba, from 92 to 89, but a lot of them went down, a lot harder. That being said, it doesn't matter, like we say, if it make widgets or whatever. These stocks have price action, range, and volume. I understand people get burnt by the Chinese stocks, but just the antithesis of my reason not to buy the cannabis stocks is the same reason why we should be buying China stocks, because the news is out and it's been friendly. They keep buying these stocks, not because they're cheap, because all the news keeps coming out negatively, and they keep buying the news. You know what I mean? They keep buying the news on this one, and buying the news on them. It's more geopolitical to buy the news than a cannabis stock in New York saying something. So it's a different animal.
Yeah, people are afraid to touch China, so it's climbing a wall of worry. And they were decimated in it. They're not coming back either.
But listen, it's hard. You have to be you have to put your ego aside in a way for stock that it clearly beat PDD in a breakout from 74. You can't say you missed it. The stock's still in 3 days. By the way, the stock's traded 20 million a day. 20 million a day, it's trading more than Apple. So you could at least the past, 3 or 4 days, the stock still has a huge range traded. It's a day trading stock now, right? You missed a 20% move, whatever it was, 30% move, trade them. And they're all acting well. And a lot of stocks, including PDD, they might be a little bit, everything's curling up. They might be a little bit over the 8-day too much, but, it's up to you to buy them on a pullback where there's a lot of floors in these things now. You know what I mean? The real edification for me was at Baba, which still is, I know it's not really where like the U.S. stocks where I'm looking for, like Microsoft has been, where I'm looking for new breeds to take over. There are no new breed China stocks, so you still got to look at Baba. So, you know what I mean? Once that might get over the 200-day, it's going to make a little push and pull. If it does, that will really be my edification. Or maybe I have to think more longer term on them. That's all.
Okay. So keep an eye on China into 2023. You get a general market risk off, global risk off move. That's where you should be looking. Okay, Mike, anything else that's been a standout to you?
Well, like I pointed, yeah, well, let me keep pointing at it. This was a day ago when I was on it, China, even though we're late. Kramer posted, whatever it was, at 3 in the morning when I get up. USA manufacturing orders for China down 40%. No wonder is China, you know, that's you want reasons for these type of geopolitical things to move, you know what I mean? See how they react. It's a tell. You know, on the China, on the, like I said, to give an example again, about the cannabis situation, I didn't like the news being out on stocks that are beaten down. These were stocks
Right.
that were covering on top of good news. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's the difference. What am I
Okay,
looking
that's a
at? I'm
big
not really
difference.
sure. I'm
Yeah.
not sure yet. I post gapping up and down.
It reminds me of that statement. You ever hear this? People who buy headlines today sell newspapers tomorrow.
Yeah, no, I don't. I don't do that. This is why I
Yeah.
do it. This is my today headline, if you will, right here. This is my today headline.
Oh, you follow Mike Harris?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I just invited him for an interview.
Oh, okay. Beautiful.
All right.
Shop calls. United
Okay.
Airlines. This what's good. What's good now? Lucid now. People, I sold my whole part. It's 879. Wow. VFC size. So what's going on today? VFC Monster 2004 sweep. All right. So
All right.
that's a retailer that's been blasted down. I'm not saying I'm going to do it, but this is what you want. You normally want something acting better, but something
Yeah.
like a stock VFC, which is a retailer, Calvin Klein,
Okay.
came, you know, had a nice pop from 26 to 34. Good. Now this is not normally for me, but you want to see a guy say, all right, it had a nice pop. I don't think this guy's hedging his short either. He's saying, all right, I'm going to take a shot with VFC, a monster sweep 2004, 2024, 37 and a half calls. Guy bet 5 million. So he's betting 5 million that by January, VFC will be here. All right, not too, he's not splitting the atom either, but
No,
that's
that's a
something
big
that I
bet.
go, you know, that's today's newspaper.
Yeah.
Hopefully January, I'll be selling selling the news, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Okay. That's yeah.
That
I
has
mean, it pulled
credence to
back
me.
right to the breakout here. It's
No,
good or
I
bad
got
from
my
here.
eye on, believe me.
Yeah.
That, those are things I look for. Cat bearish, December, January.
Yeah.
This is, right now we're in the middle of, right now we're still, at Carvana, for example, the worst stock in the world. A guy
Yeah.
put 200 grand in, December 16th calls going down next week. So big deal. I could buy 20,000 Carvana right now. And, it's almost, that doesn't do anything. Somebody like me could do that. You know what I mean? Not
Yeah.
that I'm shortchanging myself, but I'm not the smart. I'm the middleman, you know what I mean, with the smarter money. That's what I consider, right? You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
All
right, Mike.
TikTok news. There's the chart on the dollar. We'll leave it at that. Maybe getting a little
Yeah.
bit stretched outside the zone. That's all. I guess I'll leave it at that. Any sectors? No. Tune in for our September 15th of our end of the year wrap. Aren't we having that the end of the year wrap up in 2023 preview? I think show.
I'm not sure about. Is it a
We have to
show
get
or?
that one. That's what they asked us all those questions for, right?
Okay.
We
All
definitely
right.
have to have a
Well.
review show.
Okay. Well, great talking to you again, Mike. And thanks for great feel contrarian trades on China stocks. Most people, all they have is fear about them. So, nice trading. We'll see where if Santa gets on his sleigh after the Fed to give us a rally. And I really enjoy working with you. I learned from you a lot, Mike.
You too.
Thanks very much.
You too, Coach. Thanks again. Today's what, Tuesday? We'll see you back Thursday, you and I, Wednesday.
Yeah.
Thursday, 11 o'clock Thursday.
Yeah.
And certainly going to watch your video right here as we'll leave it off on TradeGATEHub. This is what I do when I sign off these days, besides it. Goldman Equities. I even post a thing on Goldman Equities. That's good reading. So
Yeah.
this is what I do.
The
I go to
content's
our
amazing every
It is.
morning that you provide.
Goldman, you know what I mean? That used to be used to cost me $2,000 a month, that information. So go to our playlist. This is what Coach did. Always posted. I'm going to go back and watch this video at 9:30. Coach every day at 9:30. Me every day at 11. So as we leave off TradeGATEHub, have a plan, trade well, and the market's thinning out a little bit. We have a couple of things slowing. It's the end of the year. Trade these, these maneuvers. You know what I mean? Like
Be tactical.
exits. Yeah,
Be tactical.
you're driving on the highway, December 13th, the Fed meetings and exit. Go get a coffee, regroup, then keep driving to the next destination. Don't be pressing this time of year. These are moves where you can focus in, make the move, and take money off the table. Thanks,
Yeah,
Coach.
just like,
Appreciate it.
okay, buddy. Just like you don't try and make your week on a Friday, you don't try and make your week on your year in December.
No,
Most of the big boys are closing their books.
no, it's bad. It doesn't work. It's just
Yep.
bad karma. Karma's live with trading.